Have you ever wondered how much fear controls your life? How it subtly dictates your decisions, your actions, and even your dreams? Fear, an instinctual response as old as humanity itself, is a potent force. Like a fog, it seeps into our minds, clouding our judgment, whispering doubts and insecurities, and erecting barriers that hold us back from reaching our full potential. Frank Herbert, a notable author, once said, "Fear is the mind killer." This striking phrase captures the essence of fear's power to consume our thoughts, to paralyze us in the face of uncertainty, and to stifle our creativity. Yet, it's important to remember that at its core, fear is a survival mechanism. It's a primal instinct designed to protect us from harm, to trigger our fight-or-flight response in the face of immediate threats. But in our complex modern world, fear often takes on a more insidious form. It's no longer just about physical threats. Fear has evolved into a psychological adversary, an enemy that lurks within the labyrinth of our minds. It can distort our perceptions, lead us to make decisions based on anxiety rather than reason, and hinder our personal growth. Our mind, a remarkable and intricate organ, becomes both the battlefield and the key to overcoming this adversary. When fear takes root, it's a battle of courage against fear, a clash that shapes the course of our lives. The mind, in its vulnerability, can be ensnared by fear, but it can also be the weapon that vanquishes it. Acknowledging the presence of fear is the first step in this battle. Denial only strengthens fear's grip, while acceptance opens the door to understanding and healing. It's a journey of introspection and self-awareness, a journey that demands courage and resilience. This journey may not be easy, but it's essential for personal growth and emotional well-being. It's clear that fear, the mind killer, wields significant power over our lives, but the question remains, how do we overcome it? It's a question that we'll explore together as we delve deeper into the realm of fear and its impact on our lives, because understanding fear is the first step towards conquering it. The first step towards overcoming the mind killer is acknowledgement. Fear, this primal instinct, often creeps into our minds subtly, whispering doubts and insecurities, erecting barriers that impede our potential. Yet the key to confronting fear lies in our willingness to recognize its existence. Self-awareness serves as our compass in this journey, helping us navigate the labyrinth of our minds. It's about taking a step back, observing our thoughts and feelings, and understanding how fear influences our decisions. In this introspection, we might uncover fears we didn't even realize we had. Fears that have quietly shaped our lives from the shadows. This process of discovery, as unsettling as it may be, is crucial in our battle against the mind killer. Yet acknowledging fear isn't just about identifying its presence, it's about accepting it. Acceptance doesn't mean surrendering to fear, but rather understanding its role in our lives. Fear is not an enemy to be vanquished, but a part of our human experience to be managed. It's a survival mechanism, hardwired into our psyche, designed to protect us. Now you may wonder, why does acceptance matter? Well, denial, the opposite of acceptance, only serves to strengthen fear's grip on us. When we deny our fears, we give them power, allowing them to control us subconsciously. It's like trying to navigate through a storm, blindfolded. Acceptance, on the other hand, is like removing this blindfold, enabling us to see the storm for what it truly is. Confronting fear also requires introspection. This means delving into the depths of our minds and facing the root causes of our fears. It's about understanding why certain things scare us and how these fears affect our actions. This process can be daunting, even uncomfortable. It requires us to face aspects of ourselves we might prefer to avoid, yet this journey of introspection and acceptance is not a solitary one. We are all in this together, each grappling with our own fears. Remember, fear is universal, a shared human experience. It's a challenging process, demanding courage and resilience, but essential for personal growth and emotional well-being. Facing the mind killer is a journey of self-discovery, acceptance, and healing. And it starts with acknowledging the presence of fear. Scene script: overcoming the mind killer also involves embracing our vulnerability. Imagine standing on the edge of a precipice, fear pulsing through your veins. Now picture turning to the person next to you, and instead of hiding your fear, you share it. You reveal your vulnerability, your humanity. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's a step towards unity, towards understanding, and towards overcoming fear. Fear, in all its forms, is a universal human experience. It doesn't discriminate based on age, race, gender, or social status. It's something we all grapple with in one way or another. By acknowledging this shared experience, we can foster empathy and unity. When we open up about our fears, we allow others to see our true selves. We let them in on our most intimate struggles, our deepest insecurities. It's a brave act of transparency, and it's incredibly powerful. Sharing our fears not only creates connections, but it also provides reassurance. It serves as a reminder that we are not alone in our struggles, that others too are fighting their own battles. These connections, these shared experiences, they become a beacon of hope in the darkness. They bridge the gap between isolation and community, between despair and hope. They remind us that we are all in this together, navigating the tumultuous seas of life. But vulnerability is more than just sharing our fears. It's about accepting them, acknowledging them without judgment. It's about realizing that it's okay to be afraid, that it's okay to not have all the answers. And in this acceptance, we find unity. We find a collective strength, a shared resolve to face the mind killer and to overcome it. We realize that our fears, much like us, are not invincible, that they can be understood, confronted, and ultimately conquered. And so we continue on our journey, hand in hand, fear in one hand, courage in the other. For it's in this balance, in this dichotomy of fear and bravery, that we find our true strength. In these moments of shared vulnerability, we find strength in unity. To navigate the labyrinth of fear, we must cultivate a mindset of mindfulness and self-compassion. Mindfulness is an empowering tool, enabling us to acknowledge our fears without judgment. It's not about banishing or denying fear, but rather recognizing its presence and understanding its roots. It's about observing how fear manifests within us, how it shapes our thoughts and actions, and how it affects our lives. This awareness is the first step towards reducing the power that fear holds over us. Picture a tree in the midst of a storm. The wind howls, the rain beats down, and yet the tree remains steadfast. It acknowledges the storm, feels its impact, but it does not yield. This is mindfulness. It allows us to weather the storm of fear, to stand firm amidst its turbulence, and to observe it without being swept away. Now, how can we cultivate this mindfulness? Practices such as meditation and deep breathing can be incredibly beneficial. Meditation encourages us to focus on the present moment, to tune into our thoughts and feelings, and to observe them with non-judgmental awareness. It's like stepping back and watching a movie of our own minds, seeing our fears play out without getting caught up in them. Deep breathing, on the other hand, can help to calm the physiological responses triggered by fear. When we're scared, our breathing often becomes shallow and rapid. By consciously slowing and deepening our breaths, we can help to counteract this response, calming our bodies and clearing our minds. But mindfulness alone is not enough. It must be paired with self-compassion. Self-compassion means treating ourselves with kindness, understanding, and forgiveness, especially when we're grappling with fear. It means acknowledging that fear is a part of our shared human experience and that it's okay to be scared. It's about extending the same compassion to ourselves that we would to a loved one in distress. By cultivating mindfulness and self-compassion, we can empower ourselves to face the mind killer, to overcome fear, and to reclaim control over our lives.